Shadow. As we do this every Wednesday at 5 o'clock CGP time, I am your host, Grumpy Bear. Nice to see ya. And as always, you have Corvo, Ninja.
Grumpy,
What?
Grumpy, what the hell are you doing?
I thought I would take place, because,
No,
you
no,
know,
no, 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 no. We done talked about this. You can't just be turning it on whenever you feel like it.
I am essential and I am the main cast.
Look, if Grumpy walks back in there and sees you sitting in his chair, he's
He's
gonna throw a damn fit.
he's sleeping. He's wait.
Yeah,
I think I
okay,
hear him.
he's sleeping. He's
Grumpy,
sleeping.
what are you doing? I'm just okay. Bye. Ah, shit. Okay, Grumpy, get out of here, boy. Get out of here. All right. Oh, shit. Okay. Everybody, welcome to the BearThoughts podcast. As my camera is apparently frozen. Good thing my camera's frozen. I don't know why it's frozen right now. Ah, yeah. He's just, oh, shit. He always breaks my stuff. I got me a drink. I was getting this ready because I needed to wake the frick up. All right, I'm trying to cut my back of my words. My mom actually got out to me the other day. Is like, you need to stop cussing so much. It's a bad habit. I know. I'm trying to stop it, but I'm not really trying to be kid friendly. Exactly. Tr- yeah. You know, and well, let me say some words in some respectful ways. Ah. Yeah, so he's all right, but you know, some tree is knocked down. Usually happens. That's just definitely scary to have tornadoes drop down. Um,
The funny thing is they drop down a lot in that specific track
mhm.
here. If they gonna hit, that's where they're gonna hit.
Okay, so
And it's like, do they have like a homing thing and they like pigeons and they fly the same flight pattern? Hell, I don't know.
I messed up a little bit right there. I've actually apparently grumpy turned off your audio too at some point. Um, Real quick, tornado later last week. That's happened last podcast. We're talking about, cuss words, and if you're gonna say, you're gonna say cuss words, or at least hear it for somebody you love. So everybody's wondering what he just said. Apparently, Grumpy turned off the audio. Whoopsie. So,
Oh shit.
so, um, he's fine. We do not have a topic point for this week for everybody. But if you would like to, if you like that little thing with Grumpy Bear, I hope you like that, enjoy that. He will be streaming more often. Be sure to go by his stream or by my stream. Technically, I will be there every now and then to give him some love and support. And be sure to share this around. Again, I don't know if he's already said this. He already tell everybody what time and everything like that. Did he?
Yeah, he did the whole it's bear thoughts and the time and
Okay.
oh hey dude, he was stealing your whole spiel.
Okay.
If he'd have bleached his eyebrows, I'd have started questioning shit.
Did he even
Um
say anything about subscribe? Be sure
I
to do
I
that.
I can't remember, but hey guys, subscribe. It's free.
Yeah,
Just click the button.
it's
It just
for
helps
free.
us out. It didn't cost you anything.
It's literally free. And someday, I will be able to do this like a pro, but not today. Clearly, 5 years of experience doesn't mean nothing when you're still learning the trick of the trade. Um, as if it,
Well, I mean, it doesn't help when you have a little blue munchkin running around your house.
I don't have no one helping me. Yeah, that's true. He's not helping me. Well, no, he's not helping me. I'm trying to give him more credit than he deserves. He's not helping me. I have no crew. I am a one-man army. I do all my editings by myself. I do all the visual myself. I do everything. Corvo helps me with the podcast and thumbnails because I sometimes do not have ideas for thumbnails because I'm just not.
Although I have to say I enjoyed the shit out of the last thumbnail. It was to me point spot on.
Yeah, I was hoping that the thumbnail would be like, I'm gonna try less wordy thumbnails. I want the thumbnail to say what the video is about.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because
Let the image speak for itself.
yeah, I would if I saw an image like that, I'd be like, okay, what's this about? Some
Right.
some Matrix stuff, some teleporters, eyes, and this guy doing this. What's the story behind this? But some people might not
Okay.
understand that. Go find a dustpan.
He was letting me know supper's almost ready.
uh,
Anyway,
well, that's a little rude.
um, yeah, so side note, I designed another card this week.
Woo!
So I made a card that it'll be the only one of this particular card I'm ever going to make. I'll probably make others with this character, but not this way
Mm-hmm.
because I want this card to be a one of one for a specific individual.
Ooh. So
But
you're getting into the
I'll
card making.
I will share with you the image just so you can see it because I know you like the artsy stuff.
Yes, yes. While you're doing that, I'm
Um,
gonna get something myself. Yes. Go ahead.
I'm pulling it up. Just give me just a minute. I'm this will be the front of it. Um,
Okay.
that'll be the front. And let's download this one.
I'm getting back into certain things.
Yeah, buddy.
I got my did I tell you what happened to my LCD?
Yeah, you told me about your LCD and you said you was getting a new one from them.
Yeah, cuz like
Um,
half the screen for some reason was just not allowing for full penetration of the UV rays.
right.
This came in, so now I have my printer up and going again. So this is the part of a character from Darkstalker, her hair. Fishula, I'm not entirely sure her name of
Yeah.
pronunciation.
Well, if my plans go the way I want to before I go to bed tonight, the 10.5 inch tall bayonetta will get started and stream will fire up on it.
Oh hell yeah. Ooh, okay. I recognize that character.
Yeah, that's Petrovenge Destiny 2.
So you're starting back into card making. You are a man with many hobbies. I have to say that.
Well, this one it wasn't really like oh, I'm going to jump back in here and make a bunch of cards. It was more like I'm trying to do some nice things for an individual that has been trying to do nice things for us.
Mm-hmm.
And this happens to be one of his favorite characters from that specific game, which is why this will be the look. There will only be one made to look like this. The card will look different for the mass production.
A one of one.
This is going to be a one of one, kind of like the idea one that I made from Final Fantasy VIII for myself as a one of one.
Mm-hmm.
This will be a one of one.
Okay. That's always something special. Like, if it ever did, let's say blow up. It's kind of like in artists when they first start up and they made all these pictures and drawings prior to them blowing up. And then when they blow up,
And been working with a girl that I work with in our marketing department. She's really good with certain types of software. And one of the things I've struggled with since I've been making cards is when you print the card front and back, it doesn't always line up exactly.
mm-hmm,
But there is software that is specifically designed to make templates to where the printer has no choice. It has to print it front and back exactly match. I'm not very good with that particular piece of software, but this girl does it for a living at work. So she has volunteered to make me a template to use moving forward for all my cards. All I have to do is replace the images on it.
yeah,
It'll always print front and back perfect.
as long as within that template, right?
Yeah, as long as I put it within the template. So I gave her the file of one of the cards, not this one, obviously, because it's a one of one. I don't want anybody to accidentally make a copy of it or something. But I gave her a card because it has the same dimensions. It's one of my mass produced cards, and she's going to make the template off of it.
Okay. Um. So what if the cards are like long though? Like I'm thinking cards from that anime card capture.
Say that again now.
What if the cards are like, like already pre-produced and they're like the long cards, like a tarot card?
Oh, a tarot card? Well, then in that case, if I was making something like that, she told me anytime I need a new template for a different size rating,
Hmm.
once she has this one established, it's just a quick edit and resave as a different template name, and now I have 2 templates.
Hmm. I wonder how much time it takes. I hope it's not too much long, or too long. I
Not
hate to be a burden.
she told me is since she has the card, the actual image that the card will be printed from,
Yeah.
it'd probably take her 15 minutes to set this template up.
Huh. Okay. Must be nice to have some people in, some contacts. I would.
Yeah, I honestly am kicking myself in the ass because I didn't think about it prior,
Yeah.
but I just happened to be over there and she was doing some they were doing like some mini flyers at work for the marketing department
Yeah.
and she was working on the design of it and I realized that was a really it's not a common size or anything, but she was making templates that were printing exactly front and back perfect and asked her about it. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm monkeying around with this crap when I'm at home just to have fun." She's like, "I'll be happy to set you up a template."
Okay. Okay. Again, it must be nice to have some people around that can help you do things where, just like you work with them, right? You see
But
them on a daily basis.
yeah, she seen the card and she's like, "The only thing I might ask is later I may pull a character that I want you to make a card for me for." I
Mm,
was like, "I can do that. I don't have a problem with that. Trade
okay.
work for work. We can do that."
How did I don't know if you ever finished it. I'm pretty sure you did. How did the Wonder Woman crown ever turn out?
Oh, it turned out beautiful. The girl loved it. The biggest issue with it though was where the inset for the star sits into the crown
Yeah.
in the pointed parts, the little narrow where it gets to the tip,
Yeah.
cleaning that out where it sat good was a pain in the ass because you couldn't just go in there with just anything. Luckily, that was about the time that Stealthy found those sanding pencils that I showed you,
Yeah.
and it made life so much easier.
Yeah, my wife gives me these things. They're not the setting pencils, but they're like um,
Yeah,
stone, like nail files, and
yeah, but I went in there with the tip of this right here.
mhm,
You can see how thin the tip is.
yeah.
Went in there with the tip of that and was able to.
I think you can resurface this. That's why I'm like thinking like, I wonder if I could just like set it down to like more of a point or grind it down. I think this stuff could be resurfaced. This whole like stone.
Yeah,
I don't really know. But anyway, this is what I use to do a lot of my little things, and I try to use the best I can of tips in an angle to get angle spots, small spots. Because she has a bunch of these, and eventually when she gets, where they wear down and she can't use them no more or whatever, she gives them to me. I'm like, I can still stand with them. But yeah, I'm glad to get back at 3D printing myself. It's just gonna be nice. But I did. My wife gave me permission, so everybody's wondering out here. She did this, but we're learning our lesson here.
I don't have any, baby. Oh,
There was
come get it.
a gentleman selling a 3D resin printer on Facebook
Okay.
for $135, which, as you know, a resin
Yeah,
printer for $135 is a steal in a lot of
yeah,
ways. Um,
right.
and it's for anybody's wondering, it's a Vox Lab version 6. I want to say it's one of the new ones. He was
Yep.
selling it, and I get it in. It was working just fine. But then I found out the USB port on it is broken. So I had to buy a motherboard for it. And this will be the first time I ever repair a 3D printer, resin 3D printer by replacing the motherboard.
So wasn't you didn't have soldered contact points that you could solder it?
No, it wasn't that. Just whatever I was plugging, whatever USB I plugged into it, no matter what, format, no matter what size, no matter what, it would not recognize a USB. It would, I could do a test on it. I could do a, we try and do a V light through it, and it would test out whether or not it's the right symbol
Right.
showing up in it.
It show you patterns and
Yeah,
stuff.
this was like a grid on theirs. I could make it go up and down. I can make the light turn off, on. I can go through all the file settings, but no matter what USB I put into it, it would not recognize it. No matter what style of either OBJ or STL 3D
Mhm.
files, it would not recognize it. No matter what I
Right.
use, I even used the printer's company's proprietary slicer that they have, still didn't recognize it. So I was like, okay, what's up? And this is the thing about I need to talk. I need to contact Creality because I want to spy. They will let me sponsor them, or they would sponsor me. I would praise them to high heaven because I contact Creative and they go, "Oh, you have a problem? We'll send you a replacement." Not an issue. They don't ask you for a bunch of things.
Right.
They just show you just like, hey, this is broken. They'll send you a replacement. For me, every single time.
Right. Right.
But the moment I contact this company, they're like, show proof of purchase. How long you been having it? Show us ID. Show like there bunch of questions and like, I bought it from someone else. You have to buy a whole part by yourself. We're not replacing it. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, Crowdy, like I bought it. I was not a problem with that, but I told him like, hey, I got a replacement monitor from you or LCD screen like a month or two back. Well, technically at this point, 4 months back, and I just not turned it on and it's not working. All right, not a big deal. We'll send a replacement. Sweet. Talk to them. No, you're not getting a replacement. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
So,
That's what I love Creality to have, and I mean, you know me, all 3 of my printers are Creality.
mhm.
I bought the one that wasn't, and it lasted like a month.
See, okay, this is the thing. It could be just like we got lucky or whatever. We got lucky. We chose a good brand that
Right.
we automatically clicked with, and
Yep.
automatically they were a good company, willing to work with you.
Right.
But how many other people out there do not get that experience?
That's my point. Yeah, I'm the same way. If they would sponsor this podcast, I'd help you praise them
It
all day long.
it is so weird that I got lucky. I did. I got super lucky. I chose a good brand. It was just one time. I'm sure what that was you would probably why you and Salty love Razor, right? It's like one of those
Yeah.
companies that you just
That's like my mouse. That was something I was going to get into later, but since we're talking about companies, like I've had this mouse that I'm using for 11 years, 12 years now. It is just now starting to show signs of, hey, since they won't update my drivers, I'm getting old and long in the tooth, so I'm going to have to replace it. But you know what? I don't think I've ever had another single mouse last 11 damn years.
no. I don't think I've ever
I
had a
mean,
mouse that long.
so you know where the first place I went when I thought about buying a new mouse? Right back to Razer,
Yeah, it's like
you know?
it is so hard to find a company that would do that. They don't realize like the long returning customer will and the longevity that it will cause a customer to go, hey, anytime I have a problem with a product, I will return to you.
And I mean, I can't say nothing because now I also get the discount.
Mhm.
But I mean, there are no major requirements on being able to do that. If you're accepted, all you have to do is just stream. You don't even have to say shit about their product or anything. You just stream.
Yeah, you just use it and it just
Just
works.
use it,
And
you know?
that's how products should be. They just work. And if you have a problem with them, they replace it.
Right.
Um,
So I mean, I'm like that with Razer, Creality. I'm a big fan of like Samsung when it comes to like appliances, televisions, phones, and stuff like that.
mhm.
Because I've never once had a problem with any of those devices and called them up and been like, "Hey, I've got an issue," and them go, "Oh, well, fuck you." And it's usually like, "Sir, how can we help you?
Yeah.
What do you need me to do?" And dude, if you ask me that question and you're genuinely trying to help me, even if it ends up costing me some money in the end, you tried to help me. I am there with you. We are good.
And yes, that's probably the reason why GameStop of lately has been winning me back a little bit. Cause like I told you about the joystick problem I had, right?
Right.
And they were like, "Hey, it got sent back to you. We'll send you another one." Like without like showing proof, they just did it, and that's something I
Yep.
can appreciate. Like, don't question your customers, just do it, and then that will, to me, make me go, "I like that."
That builds loyalty. It builds trust in the company that you're buying stuff from.
I
I
want to
mean,
do it
that's just
again.
I know people that buy stuff that, they know when they buy it that it's probably not the best quality and the shit's probably going to break, but they go back to that company because when it does break and they call them,
Yeah,
it's a, "Hey, I'm sending you a replacement right now." You know,
that
there's
is.
something to be said about customer service.
And yeah, ever since I've gotten a little bit more, like I've already knew customer service would be difficult, but Stealthy, she was once a customer service person, and when she got me a little bit more, what's the word for it? Um,
More
aware,
educated,
yeah,
yeah,
educated,
more
aware
educated about it.
of what it was on the other side of that phone. Like, I already knew like they already had a hard life as it is. But then seeing the rush they were trying to get you off the phone, get you off the thing, get you, take care of as fast as they can so they can get you off the phone. Not because they care and want to get you back up and going, it's because they had to, because the boss on the side of them were literally with the whip behind them going, "Get them off the phone quickly. Get them off." And then if you didn't get them off the phone fast enough, they hang up on you.
And you start feeling kind of bad for those people because that's a shitty ass situation. I'm trying to help the customer, but then again, I'm also trying to keep my job.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Like, you gotta look good,
Um,
but you want to help out.
right.
So I appreciate that. How many, like, this is probably a little bit good of a topic point. How many companies out there have burnt your bridge and you gave them so much of a shot that you would never go back to them ever
Oh
again?
man. So HP did that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Hewlett Packard, they did that. They did it. I will say one company that I wish had not fallen out of. Let's see how to. I'm trying to think of how to say it. Not that they stopped making good products, but more like they stopped being recognized as a major player.
A
Was
leading
Gateway. Was
gateway.
Gateway. Yeah,
Okay.
because the first major computer that I ever purchased, not built but purchased,
Mm-hmm.
was a Gateway. And this was back when 64-bit OS, quad core processors were first really making their mark on the world.
Yeah.
I went and bought a Gateway Media Tower. This thing was the first time I ever seen a tower that come with its own built-in wireless card in case you didn't have a hard line.
Yeah.
It had a 1 terabyte drive. Back then, 8 gigs was like you had a supercomputer at that point if you had 8 gigs. I ran that computer off of the onboard graphics for 7 or 8 years with doing nothing no more than upgrading maybe the RAM with how what the cycling frequency was on it to give it a little more,
Yeah.
or changing the hard drive from a platter to an SSD, but nothing else. 7 years, and that's amazing.
That's very reliable.
That's very good. The day that that damn computer died, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I cried
I can get that.
because when I was growing up, the only computers I had access to were somebody else's computers or a little Frankenstein machine that I put together in the corner
Hmm.
that was like limping with squirrel power. You know what I mean? So
Little hamster wheel.
when I got out of college and started making some decent money, I saved up, and I remember this machine was like 1,200 bucks.
Hmm.
And my wife was then my fiance, and my mother said, "If you don't buy this damn machine after you went through all the trouble to saving this money up," because I was about to back out of it, I just didn't want to spend all that money.
Yeah.
They're like, "We're gonna beat your ass all the way home because we don't want to hear you sobbing about it." So I went and bought it, and it was, I mean, it was one of the most reliable machines I've ever had in my life. And I mean, it's like my baby died that day. I was like, "Oh no."
Okay, I can totally get behind that. I feel like I talked about it a long time ago. My first computer was my first build computer was Asus primarily, but my first actual computer, which was probably a bad idea, was a Dell, and it was a laptop. This is old school brick Dells back in the day, the big old
Mhm.
thing. It did the job, but I didn't very much use it for enjoyment or entertainment. But the first computer I ever bought was an Acer, and I regretted that so hard
You mean
because
an Acer? ACER?
yeah, Acer, Acer, I always
Yeah,
pronounce
it's a
it wrong. And I'm like,
yeah.
I was regretting this for almost from day one. It was all I could afford. And it was just all around just trash. But
Well, it's like the tower that I have sitting here, we discussed it.
mm,
It's a Dell case, and it's got a quad core processor in it,
mm.
but I've got 32 gigs of RAM and that monster ass damn graphics card in here. Dude, I run my streaming, I push my stream and my game from this damn thing when I'm playing it.
Oh, yeah. Have what's the word for it? Uh company grade hardware.
Yeah, it's a different story
Yeah, it's
because people don't get that Dell corporate machine versus Dell home machine. That's two different categories.
yeah, like that is
Home is
industrial.
home was made for you to check your email, do a little Word document, maybe you watch a little YouTube.
Hmm.
That's all it was made for. This machine sitting here was designed by Dell to run Autodesk
Yeah,
software, Inventor, AutoCAD Mechanical, shit like that, 3D modeling software, right?
yeah.
So when they aged it out, let's toss it in the dump. I'm like, no, sign this piece of paper.
Yeah, because it's literally designed to help run a multi-billion or million-dollar of company. It's
Right.
like it's not just
So
like,
they signed a
hey,
little piece of paper, and I brought it home,
hmm,
and I slapped the graphics card in it and put a couple extra sticks around. Off to the races I went.
yeah. Even I would be like, yeah, I'm using.
And
If
you
I
know
had
what's
that card,
fixing to
I would be using
that's
it
the
streaming.
that's the same thing that's fixing to happen to Stealthies that's sitting behind me on the floor. It's the exact same tower.
Hmm.
The exact same one I got. I can't imagine what her paladins and all that's gonna what her gameplay like that shit's gonna be become when I'm done with it.
Oh man,
Because she already owns most anything she gets into.
hmm.
So I mean, you clear up the visuals for her, give her a cleaner shot. Ugh.
She's gonna become a
I'm not
monster.
PvP. I'm not PvPing with her. Hell with that. Where you
Um,
at? I don't know, but a bullet just went through my head.
I really appreciate that, but I'm glad there's companies out there that are doing good. Now, I bring this up because right to repair is still going on. You remember I talked about that a couple months
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Right to
yeah.
repair is still being fought and argued about in industries in other states in America, and I am full advocate about rights to repair. I just repaired, no lie, just the other day, the red joystick for my Nintendo Switch. The little joy,
Right.
like I just repaired it yesterday. I did it myself.
Anymore.
Thank you,
Um,
daughter.
No matter
but
which one you pick. But hold on a second.
Sorry, food delivery.
hello, Stephanie. But anyways, so Apple just came out with a new like mini computer the other day,
Yeah.
and Linus Tech Tips did um an opening on it to test out whether or not the hardware
Mhm.
can be either upgraded or replaced. Now get what I'm saying here. Just to open up this thing, open up and get inside of it,
Okay.
you have to know the tricks to be able to access the screws. And
Yep.
it's only one little spot you can actually open to access the screws. So they're making that hard to open up already. Start to
Yep.
like why? There's no purpose behind making a computer hard to access unless you're doing it on purpose so people can't access it unless you know about it. So one thing.
Yep.
Two, the what's it called? the memory, like the thing you got me. What are they called?
Hard drive.
The M.2?
The M.2. There we go. Thank you. Both of you correct technically. The M.2 that's inside the computer
Right.
cannot be switched without either being within a certain confinement. But even when you switch it, here's the thing. In order to when you switch it and get it to work, you have
Hmm.
to have access to another computer, another Apple's computer, to format the hard drive that costs the same amount of money. So you need to have two of these same devices that cost $2,000 or $5,000 in order to make that M.2 to run on the Apple's computer. I'm
Yep.
like, that is why that should be a thing. As long as it has the same size, same format. Nope, can't do it. So they said for safety reasons they do that.
Okay. So, side note, I did fail to mention this. She will have one upgrade that I don't. Her primary hard drive will be M.2.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's the same size, same format, same brand, you have to do that. But if you want to upgrade the M.2 in the computer to a larger size, let's say a 2 gig or 4 gig, whatever, you cannot do it at all. Even if you have another computer that you can format that hard drive and get it ready and prepared, blah, 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 you are not allowed to do that. It won't let you. So once you
Yep.
spend $2,000 on this computer or $5,000 on the computer, you are not allowed to upgrade it. And that to me is just
What they don't realize is what they're
malicious.
going to do is they're going to make the market on people building their own machines go up.
Mm-hmm.
Is what's going to happen because people are going to be like, well, if I build my own shit, then I can do whatever I want to with it. And then they're going to screw themselves.
Who, Apple?
Apple, everybody.
Apple's been doing that.
Well, as it seems like Apple has been a what's the word? Trendsetter. Trends. I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, trendsetter on hardware and how computers and blah 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 are being made, right? And more people, more companies are copying what Apple's doing. And I'm
I'm just
afraid.
waiting.
You're wanting to be as profitable as Apple is because Apple makes it almost impossible to have anybody else work on their shit but them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Tesla, as soon as they came out, did the same exact thing.
Yep. And that's what I'm afraid of other companies copying this very thing where they like let's say you have I know certain motherboards, I forget what company's doing this. If you put a CPU in it on this certain motherboard, the processor or CPU will be locked to that motherboard. So when you go take that CPU and let's say put it on another computer, it will not work. Because they do
Yep.
some kind of locking thing. But if you put a new CPU in it, that CPU will now be locked to that exact motherboard and that exact brand. It's like if I spend $500 on a CPU and I put it in your motherboard and you lock it where I can't put it in another computer in the future later on, I would be super pissed.
Yes.
Cause now that hardware is useless. I can't even sell it.
Yeah.
And that's what
Basically what they're doing is locking it down to where you have to be a repeat customer.
mm-hmm.
Huh? You have to be a repeat customer, basically.
Yeah, and that is to me
That's
they're learning it from
that's
Apple.
I think my camera just locked.
It did.
Hang on. It's trying to come back.
All right, but I feel like more companies are doing this nowadays. Why would you want to hurt your customer rapport or your customer connection?
They're not worried about whether you like them or not. They're worried about forcing you to have to come back to them.
I
Because all they're going to do is create a market for people that make their own shit.
That's what I just told him. I was like, they're literally going to drive up the market on people building their own machines.
yeah, walk it away for them.
Apple gets away with it because, no offense to anybody that does Apple, most of them don't know how to do shit themselves, so that's why they do it.
Yeah, they sell it off as like it's almost a piece of art that only they can do. Like only we can do this amazing thing of computer technology and
No, not what I mean.
Mhm.
Okay, so a lot of Apple users say they are very proficient with computers, but can't handle Windows OS.
Yep. What she's saying is basically a lot of people that
Like to
run
be babied.
Mac
Yeah.
can't use a Windows machine.
Okay, because it's more. They think it's more simple, or it is
No,
simpler.
They think it's more simple, but in reality, it's harder for them.
right.
That
God damn, why does my camera keep dropping out?
it wants to let you eat, so you can just eat and we can talk at any time. I can get that. I totally get behind that, and I feel like, at some point, some judge out there needs to just go and say, yeah, this is um bad practicing, bad designing, and make it. I hate to say it, make it pretty much illegal for Apple to be doing this. Unjustifiable repairing excuse. So when that people or that state says no to that, other states will start saying no to that. It's a
Well,
domino effect.
they're not gonna do that for the simple fact that a lot of those very people, their entire thing is set up based off of Apple products.
Or they lobby to keep stuff like
Yeah, but
that.
say they're probably getting paid. Like, no, we like Apple. Apple is such a good comic. Wink, wink. Thank you for the money.
Yeah, just remember, Apple, like the little Apple fans are probably going to come after you now because of
Ah,
everything. I apologize, but they're going to come.
you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. If you have a $5,000 computer or whatever, and you can't fix it yourself, and you go to an Apple store and they tell you pay up another $5,000 because we don't want you repairing it, we just give you a new one, and they repair it and sell it again for $5,000. You're not doing yourself any services. You're hurting yourself. Especially the product or how to fix it only costs you $15.
An amazing example. Let me ask the one person in here that has experience with all three OS systems: Linux, um,
iOS,
Microsoft, and Apple. Well, technically OS.
iOS, yeah.
iOS, yeah. Which do you prefer? I know which one you prefer.
Okay, so
Put that in the comments below.
me being fair
And a tech person. He
and a
probably likes
tech
Linux.
person, I would rather run Linux.
Mm-hmm.
I would because I can run a Linux OS without having to have any GUI. And a lot of people can't do that. I get that. You're used to clicking on buttons and stuff, but I can type a command for Linux just as fast as I can click a button. And the thing is if I type in the right command, I can still open a window to view a video or run a game or whatever. But the other side of that is a lot of Linux systems now have desktop GUIs like Windows. So that's not necessarily a factor anymore. You can get yourself a GUI interface. Okay. Same at the same time. For the average user, I would recommend a Windows, a PC,
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing else you can fix it yourself.
because you have more freedom to work on that machine yourself than you do an Apple.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that people are all excited because Apple is this and Apple's that. And honestly, you know what a lot of people think? That Apple is not capable of getting a virus.
Bullshit!
I'm here to tell you from a IT professional that is utter bullshit. There is no such thing as any type of machine that connects to the internet that is not capable of getting a virus or getting jacked or getting anything done to it.
Malware.
Is it significantly difficult to do that with Apple? Yes, because they did design their security features fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, to get all those nice fancy security features, you're trading off the ability to be able to change out your own memory, your own hard drive, your own graphics card, to be able to change certain parts of the machine, upgrade certain parts of the machine. to me, that's not a sacrifice I'm willing to make because what I buy now may not be what I need later.
Yeah, yeah.
Also-
You're in the back. Yeah. What's your answer?
All right, so the secondary reason there's not enough Apple users to warrant using a virus.
To want to use a virus. What do you mean? Explain that one.
Okay.
Go ahead, I'll let him do it, but I had to say that.
From a black hat point of view,
Mm-hmm.
if you were going to write a virus to attack a type of OS,
Yeah.
and you want maximum damage or maximum accrual of funds, whatever the hell you're doing with it, right?
Yeah.
Would you hit the small pond of elite Apple users
Yeah.
or the 90% of the world that's running PC?
I'll attack Google Chrome.
And I'm being honest, I mean, that's the way it is. And
Doesn't
you know
mean
what?
they're telling themselves already.
You know why Linux doesn't have as much problem? Because there's like 5% of the computers in the world that are still using it.
Mm-hmm.
And those 5% are the people that realize, guess what? We're the small minority. And all of our shit is freeware that we share with each other any fucking way.
Not to mention they're usually the ones hacking.
Not to mention, usually that 5% is the ones that's hitting the 90%.
Yeah. Apple people attacking Windows. I wonder if any of them ever do it like on purpose, like espionage. Kind of like, hey,
It would be very difficult for Apple users to attack Windows unless they use a different OS.
Yep.
That's how secure their shit is.
or they use what's that when it's called? Like you have one like I can literally run apples on my computer if I have this one type of program. What's it called?
An emulator.
Yeah, emulator of like a Windows or an Apple on my computer. You can do that. It's just it's not gonna be as powerful or as strong as it's just running it purely.
Well, the thing is okay. In my house right now,
Mm-hmm.
there are multiple Windows machines.
And 2 Linux.
And there's 2 Linux machines.
Server.
Okay. One of them is a server. The other one is a laptop you do not want me to put my hands on. Because things can get misappropriated really fast with that machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It stays locked up for one, to keep me honest, and two, if I ever get pissed off enough to pull it out, the wife and kids already know that it's already too late at that point.
It's just okay. Then Apple is, where I'm understanding it, is much more geared toward working, like editing computer software for companies.
It's an elitist machine.
It's a rich person stuff.
It's an elitist machine.
Okay, and then
It's geared towards that top tier 3-letter CEO, CFO, VP, those people. It's built to run the software they need. It's built for big industry on animation and stuff, for them to be able to run that kind of stuff. It's not really built for the everyday user at home.
okay,
That's why I crack the hell up at work all the time when people walk by and say, "Hey, I know you're good with PC, but I use a Mac at home and I'm having problems accomplishing this. Can you take a look at it for me?" And I can look at them and honestly say, what you're wanting to do is not what that machine was built to do. It's just not. Then on top of that, we did a side-by-side comparison at work. And this is probably going to piss off the Apple community at large. So be prepared for the backlash. I'm telling you.
Like I said, this one is already
We did a side-by-side comparison. We took a MacBook that was designed for supposed to be a like an illustrator or art or animator or something like that.
Engineering.
We put it in the marketing department, and then we went and bought a Windows machine that was rated to do the same shit. Bought the same software, but for PC instead of for Mac. Put it on there, put it side by side. Had this user use both machines. Now, this is a Mac user. He uses a Mac every day at home. He walked back over a week later, handed me the work MacBook, and said, "You can keep this shit. It's much easier on Windows." for
Okay.
a lifelong Mac user to decide in his work environment
Hmm.
that he could use a Windows machine to accomplish his job faster than he could a Mac machine when that's all he's ever used, that tells you something.
So okay. So is it when it's one to one to hardware, one to one to
Yeah, it was
hardware,
it
and
was
one to one
everything
software?
everything was 1 to 1 as close as we could possibly get it with one being a Mac and one being a PC.
Hmm.
As comparable to each other as possible. He chose the Windows over the Mac.
Did he tell you why?
Yeah, he said I could do the job faster and easier inside of the Windows OS than I could in the Mac OS.
And he was a primary, so he should know all the
He's
shortcuts and
yeah, and
all the.
he's always used Mac.
Hmm.
He grew up, they sent him to a private school that only ever used Mac. He was taught Mac.
Hmm.
He's only ever owned Mac at home. Hell, he even totes an iPhone and an iWatch. Okay? This man chose the Windows machine.
Huh. Okay, so knowing all this and knowing that all this is a thing, do you still think apples
He's a fake fan.
have
Fake fan.
Sorry, that's a story.
after all that, you think Apple has a justification for right to repair to their computers to be
Hell
able?
no.
So
Hell no. All it is they do not want PC has left themselves open for people like you or me to
mhm,
build our own PCs.
yeah,
Okay?
Which
They don't
ironically
want
increases their
that,
sales.
which ironically increases their sales because let's be honest, me and you know what it takes to build a machine, right? Now, if I can go online for the same amount of money that I'm going to build this machine for and find a machine that is damn near the exact same machine, which fucking way am I going to go?
you can build it yourself.
But
No, I'm probably going to buy it because I don't want to spend the time building it.
Oh yeah, true. Never mind. I
You
think
get
about
what I'm
myself.
saying?
I'm okay with it.
but then on top of that, here's the people that want to build it the best of the best. They want to put their extra upgrades in there.
Hmm.
They can still do that. So the people that don't know what they're doing can still get what they need.
See, you got to remember, for me, I build machines all day. That's what I do.
Yeah.
The people that build machines can get
So
the ease, the
if I
convenience.
go and let's say I'm trying to build a machine that has an 8 core processor, 16 threads, right?
Yeah.
32 gigs of RAM, a specific graphics card, and all this shit, and I build it out, and it's $1,500. But
Hmm.
then I go to Dell and look at their stuff, and here's the same fucking machine, maybe minus one item for 13.
Yeah.
Buy the 13 and put the fucking one item in it instead of having to buy and build and everything myself because I do it all day.
Yeah.
Okay. PC left that open for you. So they didn't hurt themselves. They kind of helped themselves because it's like, okay, we'll let them get through this whole fad of, oh, I built my own machine. I'm the man. I'm special. And when they realize how much work this shit is and that they could have bought this and just put one card in it, we'll get them back.
Yeah.
Apple don't want to run the risk of somebody tearing open an apple and realizing how ridiculously complex this fucking thing is
For
to
nothing.
take apart and put together for no apparent reason, and them going, fuck this, I'm going PC.
Hmm.
So they're locking that door. They're saying, nope, you can't do that.
Well, they're not only, like, let's say something breaks at Apple and you can find out. Okay, I can go online. I can find that part. I can buy that part and put it in my computer and be back up and running again. No, Apple has it where if you put that same, if you can buy it, 'cause some companies will not sell to you because Apple has a deal with them, telling them they're not allowed to sell it outside of their store without them saying so. But if you say you go and buy it and you go put it in your computer, you cannot do that because Apple will lock your computer and lock up your
Well,
hardware the moment you put it in.
Or
here's the
void your
other thing.
warranty.
Here's the other thing.
Mm.
Look up the number of actual Apple stores globally and compare it to the number of PC stores globally. And you'll realize chances are you get a Mac and that shit breaks, you're driving 3 states over to get it fucking fixed.
Kind of true. Not that many. And if you do go there, if everybody ever buys Mac or like that, get ready. You're gonna be probably buying a brand new one. Just have that money ready. Just like when you buy one computer from them, have money for another one because eventually you're gonna need to buy a brand new one because they will not repeat. They will not just fix that one little small thing. They will make you buy a new one before they go and fix that one. And when they do fix that one, they're gonna turn around and sell it for the same price, brand new. and it
Yep.
only costs them 15 bucks. There's a YouTube channel that I watch online that does Apple repair. He goes through all of it. I'll put it somewhere down in the description if I remember it. Guy's great, but he's the guy that's starting. If everybody look up the rights to repair, you probably find his channel because he's the one who started it. And apparently, okay, there's another company out there. Let's see. It's you ever seen those like electric boards? It's one wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently they are doing the same thing. If you replace batteries in it, it will literally lock up the entire board. Batteries. And
Nothing surprises me anymore.
and
Nothing.
and it's like they've had like several revisions of this board over the years, like version 1, version 2, whatever. And people were like modding these boards, right? And
Right.
at one point they had a port you can plug into the board or plug into it, and you can use an external battery pack to run the board longer. And it was safer, and it didn't like there was no reports or no like hey, this thing made these things catch a flame or burst into fire or destroy the board. Like no, these were mods that were safe, and people could just connect right into it and go.
Yep.
And then they made another revision of this board to stop people from doing that, because they're gonna do it
Yep.
anyways, right? They're gonna do it anyways. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. There's just no stopping them. Instead of
No.
just allowing them to do that, they made it where you couldn't do it anymore. They took away the port, so people were cutting into the wiring as if that's safer. It's not. Duh. Who would expect this? And making it more dangerous to plug up external battery backs so you can go further distances. So they made it where you couldn't even plug up other batteries into it, or it will lock up the entire board. It's like if I take my 3D printers and I want to mod it and make it better, like let's say I want to put a Wi-Fi chip or whatever inside of it, and you lock it up the moment I plug up a Wi-Fi chip in it, and even though you give me the option to, and then I do it, and then you say nope, lock up my stuff, and then later on go, yeah, you're not gonna have the option at all. I might be a little pissed off.
Yeah.
Like you don't take away features, you add features.
But it's like that with everything now, man. Um, that's the real reason why I went from an iPhone to an Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of being told when I could do something and how I could do something. I mean, why the hell am I going to go and buy an iPad mini and 3 generations later, oh, by the way, your device is so old, we're not even going to let you have the newest iOS. Now you can't surf the net. Now you can't go to this. Now, motherfucker, please, I bought this and it ain't dead yet. I should be able to still use it.
Yeah, lower the power uses. Get you the older version or more update versions of iOS on the other hardware where you can't even update it at all, or be able to use the functions of that you originally be able to use to it, or you update, let's say, an app on it, and then that app is no longer available
I
to
mean,
your device.
I literally have an iPad and an iPad mini that was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first got them, I used them specifically for viewing like stealthy streams when I'm at work while I'm working,
Mm-hmm.
or will not allow me to upgrade the apps to still do that shit.
Yeah, it's like this. My wife, she had a iPhone 6 or something like that, and she couldn't play Pokemon Go anymore because the version of Pokemon Go, the phone didn't support it no more. It's like
Right.
like during this
So,
time,
I mean,
7
that's
just came
why I
out,
went to Android on my phone, and I promise you the next tablet that I own will be an Android-based tablet.
which they are getting better. The technology is getting better. It's
Oh, man, there's some out there by Samsung and a few others that are really, really nice now.
hmm I had some tablets a couple years ago, and I loved the hell out of it when I first got it. But over the time, the wear was starting to show because they were still developing the technology and getting it going. And I hope we someday will be able to have one again because again, they are pretty nice to be able to just walk around the house with something small in your hand. I wouldn't mind being able to read mangas on it. That's would be my simple thing, really, just reading some mangas. But yeah, I feel like technology, like you should. If I was a company, I would one I would want people to make it better, right? Figure out ways to make my technology better for me so
Right.
I can integrate it for future things like, hey, it's open source. I want to make it better now. Somebody go
Right.
figure out how to make it better. And then I will take that idea and I will build upon that and make my technology and make my thing better. At the same time, I want a returning customer, and I realize people don't want something that only lasts for 2 years.
Right.
Because who wants to buy something that only lasts for 2 years and then have to replace it so often? Because you decide to upgrade it to a point where you can no longer use it, even though it still works.
Agreed.
Like if they upgraded my mouse today and said, "Yeah, it only works on Windows 10, only works on Windows 11, or it doesn't work at all now on Windows 11," I would be getting annoyed because now I gotta go buy a brand new technology. Why would you do that? It's software. Do you think software is becoming more the problem? I feel like it is. I feel like they have more control over software because then they can just say it's our.
I blame the software. I blame the people putting the stipulations on the software.
Mm,
Because you write software can be written however the hell you want to write it.
yeah.
But somebody up the chain had to tell them, hey, when you write this shit, you write the new patch, this new patch makes that device obsolete.
Mm,
Or this new patch says this is the last driver refresh you're going to get. Somebody made that decision. I don't blame the software. I blame the fuckers that are sitting up there trying to line their pockets with cash.
well, they're doing a good job of it, and consumers are, unfortunately, a lot of them are buying into that. Would you
Well, the
agree?
problem, yeah, and I mean, what are you going to do for most users at large? They don't necessarily know certain things, so they're believing that, hey, if we don't do this, we can't continue to do what we do. Not that they don't realize that it's about the fact that not that if you don't do this, it's because they're making you do this.
Hmm.
You know, they don't get that.
They didn't have a choice in the begin. They never had a choice to begin with. That's the word I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, they didn't get a choice in it. I mean, and what are you going to do? 90% of the world runs off of technology just to accomplish a simple task now. If you make a patch where a mouse doesn't work on the next OS, they're going to have to buy a fucking mouse. They've got to do their job.
hmm.
That's guaranteed profit. And that's what they see.
Uh, I do like. I just say this. I do. That's one of the reasons I like Android. Is if there's ever a patch on my phones, I've had this happen before, where like they say the upgrade was buggy or glitchy or whatever. I can go online, find an APK of that app online, and download it to my phone, and then download the app with it, and be able to access the app all over again.
Right.
And that's like back. You're able to go back. There's no going forward, and you're stuck there. You can
Right.
actually reverse what you did, and I appreciate that. But that's like you mostly find it from the community, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Google isn't doing it. It's like, hey, would you like to go to the previous version? Sure, but Google's not doing that. It's people online, and so people are finding ways around it. Um,
But they leave it open so you can. That's
yeah.
the big thing. I don't mind somebody saying that they're going to work on something, and if it's buggy and it's not fixed, you leave me the ability to fix it. What I do mind is if it's buggy and I don't have a way to fix it.
Mm. Yeah, I get that. But I've heard some people say you can make like let's say you can make a Linux computer, but you didn't need to know what hardware that you can run on it. It's not you can just go out there and buy any graphics card, any CPU, any motherboard. Like there is a little bit of a smaller window for that. So if everybody's wondering out there, can you actually just build a Linux computer? You can technically, and you can get like Ubuntu and all. There's different versions of Linux out there. I know there's like a ton of
There's a
them.
bunch of different flavors.
So yeah,
Yes.
so people can like, hey, if let's say the Linux version purely isn't your thing, but you still want to work on Apple like thing, you can go out there. There's revisions or you might say what's the word like almost like a different UI
Yeah,
for Linux, and
a different GUID for it.
Gooey. You said good.
Well, technical terms, it's called a GUID.
GUI.
We shortened it
It's
to
a boy.
GUI
It's a
for the
boy because
layman.
it's cute.
But yeah, it's like, but you can do that. So it's, not that you can't. But at least with those of you make, because you have to put money and time and effort, at least you can take those parts and go, okay, well now this part's broken, I can just replace it. But if you
And
buy it pre-made,
the nice thing is if you don't want to just jump off and build you a Linux machine, if you've got a Windows machine, enable your damn Hyper-V and make you a virtual machine on your own machine.
mm-hmm.
Power it up when you want to play with Linux and get familiar with it, and when you don't, shut it down and keep on going.
Yeah, so it's Windows has such a good thing. My wife's about to get on out of here. Yes, yes, yes. Come give me love, thank you. All right. But that would be if anybody has a topic for next week, I know last week again we were kind of rushed to get out for stream because of a thunderstorm. I don't have one technically for next week, but I thought today's topic was interesting. Got one?
I got one for you.
All right.
Dream character to print.
Dream character. Oh, okay. 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 All right. All right. I already have one. Anyways, I'm actually thinking about like if I have a little bit more money in the future, which I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. I'm gonna bring this up real quick. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway on my stream. But here's the thing: I'm gonna have everybody help me pick out what I'm gonna give away within the $100. So if everybody wants to help me come figure out some things to give away, you're more than welcome. But if I have some money left over, I'm gonna try probably maybe get somebody
More than
commissioned.
$100, so you can't give me away, okay?
Yep,
You're like, ah, friends, I said it.
Beautiful timing.
yep. Anyways, so thanks. All right, so okay.
Hey, that brings a new meaning to throwing shade on you right there.
Somebody
Shut the
clip
light
that. Oh
off.
wait, we're on YouTube. I wish somebody could clip that. Dang it. Anyways, so if you want to be here for next week, we'll be on every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Central BT time here on the Bear Thoughts channel. And if you like the TikTok, I do have a TikTok now. Any other social media with me going live within the hour, so probably be me today, not Grumpy Bear. And of course, if you do like this, be sure to share it, like the video, and leave a comment down below if let's say not next week, but the week after that, we don't have a topic, and you leave a topic down below. You're more than welcome. Please do. And of course, what's your favorite iOS? Do you like Windows? Do you like Mac? And give us a reason why you like it. More than just it's nice or it's easy. Yeah, that's pretty much a given. And as always, you have a good day, have a good night, and have a good life. Much love, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye. 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 Bye.